My name is Diego, I'm 27, and I live in Barcelona. And if there's one thing life has taught me, it's this. Sometimes the knife that cuts the deepest isn't wielded by your enemy, it's held by your best friend. See, betrayal hits different when it comes from the person you trusted most. And my story? It's about my childhood best friend Pablo, the guy I thought was my brother, who stole my girlfriend right out from under me, and then smiled to my face like nothing was wrong. But before I get into the heartbreak, the rage, and the revenge, I need to take you back to where it all started. Because betrayal only hurts this much when the bond ran deep. Pablo and I, we were inseparable. We grew up on the same street in Gracia, Barcelona. Our moms were friends, our dads worked together on construction sites. From the time we were 6 years old, we were in and out of each other's houses like family. We shared everything, our first football, our first crush, even the stupid punishments we got at school. People used to call us hermanos sin sangre, brothers without blood. That's how close we were. When I got into football, Pablo was there in the stands, screaming my name. When he struggled in school, I stayed up all night helping him cram. When my father passed away suddenly, when I was 15, Pablo was the one who slept on my floor for 2 weeks straight so I wouldn't feel alone. That's the kind of friendship we had. He wasn't just my best friend, he was my family. So when I met Clara at a photography exhibit 3 years ago, Pablo was the first person I wanted her to meet. She was beautiful, sharp-witted, with this laugh that just pulled you in. I fell for her fast. And the first time I brought her around Pablo, I watched them shake hands, and he gave me this big grin and said, "She's perfect for you, hermano. You've finally done something right." I laughed. I trusted him. Why wouldn't I? The three of us started hanging out all the time. Late-night tapas, beach trips to Barceloneta, even lazy Sunday mornings drinking café con leche and playing board games. It felt natural, effortless. Clara loved Pablo's sense of humor. Pablo said he'd never seen me so happy. For a while, life felt perfect. I had the girl I loved and my brother by my side. Nothing could touch us. But you know how sometimes, when things feel too perfect, there's this small voice in your head whispering that maybe it won't last? That voice showed up the night Pablo leaned across the bar, looked me dead in the eyes, and said, "If you ever mess this up, Diego, I'll take her off your hands." He laughed. Clara wasn't there to hear it. And me? I forced to laugh too. That was Pablo, right? Always joking, always teasing. But as I stared into my beer that night, something twisted in my gut. Because deep down, I couldn't shake the thought, what if he wasn't joking? After that night at the bar, when Pablo made that so-called joke about taking Clara if I messed up, I tried to bury the thought. I told myself, "Diego, you've known this man your whole life. He's like a brother. Don't be paranoid." And for a while, I believed that. But then the small cracks started to show. It began subtly. Clara started bringing Pablo up. A lot. We'd be sitting on the balcony having dinner, and she'd say, "Pablo told me about this amazing coffee shop in El Born. We should go." Or when we'd be planning a weekend trip, she'd add, "Oh, Pablo recommended this spot in Sitges. He says it's perfect for couples." Now, maybe that sounds harmless. Friends talk, right? But what got me was how often Pablo was in our conversations when he wasn't even around. It was like he was slowly taking up space in our relationship without being there physically. Then came the inside jokes. We'd be at a group dinner, and Clara and Pablo would laugh at something only they seemed to understand. I'd ask, "What's so funny?" And Clara would wave it off, saying, "Oh, it's nothing. Just something Pablo said earlier." Earlier? When were they talking earlier? I brushed it off once, maybe twice. But when it kept happening, I started noticing a pattern. They were talking a lot more without me. The moment that really set off alarm bells happened one Saturday night. We were all at a house party, music blasting, drinks flowing. I went to grab another beer from the kitchen, and when I came back, I saw Clara and Pablo on the couch. Not close enough to be obvious, but just close enough that her knee brushed his. They were laughing, leaning into each other. When I walked in, Clara jumped a little, like I'd caught her doing something she wasn't supposed to. "Pablo?" He leaned back, casual as ever, and smirked. That smirk, it burned into my mind. The final straw came a week later. Clara and I were walking home, and out of nowhere she said, "You know, Pablo really understands me. Sometimes it feels easier to talk to him than anyone else." I stopped dead in my tracks. She realized what she'd just said and quickly added, "I mean, besides you, of course." But it was too late. The damage was done. That night, lying in bed, I stared at the ceiling and felt this gnawing in my chest. The unease had grown from a whisper to a roar. Something was happening. Something I couldn't quite prove yet, but I could feel it in my bones. And I made myself a silent promise. I will find out the truth, even if it breaks me. For weeks, I lived in that uneasy space, the space where your gut screams at you, but your brain tells you to calm down. Clara still smiled at me, kissed me, made plans for our future. Pablo still slapped me on the back, called me hermano, and laughed like nothing was wrong. But every small moment stuck with me. Every time Clara mentioned his name, every time Pablo gave me that smug smirk. And then, it happened. The first crack that could no longer be ignored. One night, Clara was in the shower, and her phone buzzed on the nightstand. Normally, I'd never touch her phone. Trust is trust, right? But something inside me said, look. The screen lit up. It was a message from Pablo. My heart dropped. The preview read, "Last night was amazing. Can't stop thinking about you. Same time tomorrow?" I froze. My hands trembled. My first instinct was denial. Maybe it was a joke. Maybe it wasn't meant for her. But my gut knew. I tapped the message. And there it was, a string of texts. "Pablo, you look so beautiful in that dress. Wish I could have kissed you longer. Clara, stop, you're crazy. What if Diego finds out? Pablo, relax. He trusts us. He'll never suspect a thing." My chest felt like it caved in. The words blurred as anger and heartbreak collided inside me. I didn't confront her right away. Instead, I put her phone back exactly where it was, pretending I hadn't seen anything. That entire night, I lay next to her in bed, listening to her breathe, pretending to sleep, while my mind replayed the texts over and over like knives stabbing into me. The betrayal wasn't just Clara's. It was Pablo's too. My brother, my so-called family. The next morning, Clara acted like nothing had happened. She kissed my cheek, made coffee, and hummed while getting ready for work. But I couldn't unsee the truth. That day, as I stared at my reflection in the mirror, I whispered to myself, "It's real. They're betraying me." And for the first time, I felt something stronger than heartbreak. I felt rage. After reading those messages, my world should have shattered. But instead, something inside me changed. I didn't scream. I didn't confront. I didn't cry. No, I went silent. Because silence, I realized, was more powerful than rage. I began to watch them. Every movement, every glance, every excuse. Clara would say she was working late, but I noticed her lipstick freshly applied at 9:30 at night. She claimed she was too tired for dinner with me, but suddenly her phone would light up with messages, and she'd smile at the screen when she thought I wasn't looking. And Pablo, my so-called brother, he started canceling our usual soccer nights. He had meetings. He had family obligations. But then I'd see photos of him tagged at bars, always conveniently without me. The hardest part? Pretending I didn't know. Every time Clara kissed me, I wanted to pull away. Every time Pablo joked with me, I wanted to smash his face into the wall. But I didn't. Instead, I played the role of the clueless boyfriend, the trusting best friend. Because the more I pretended, the more evidence I gathered. And then came the second reveal. One night, Clara told me she was having a girls' night. She dressed up too much for just friends, but I said nothing. Later, I called one of her actual girlfriends, Marta, just to casually ask how the night was going. Marta laughed. "Girls' night? What are you talking about? Clara's not with us. Haven't seen her in weeks." My stomach twisted. There it was, another piece of truth confirming the betrayal. But I didn't stop there. I started checking Pablo's social media more carefully. His tagged photos, his likes, the places he checked in. And one night, jackpot, he had posted a group photo from a club. In the corner of the picture, blurred but unmistakable, Clara's red dress. The exact same one she wore when she said she was with her girlfriends. They thought they were invisible, but I saw everything. I saved screenshots. I wrote down dates. I created a timeline of lies. Because this wasn't going to end in a shouting match. No. This was going to end with everyone knowing exactly who Pablo and Clara really were. And I would be the one to show them. I had all the proof I needed. The texts, the photos, the lies stacked on top of each other like a house of cards. But I knew one thing: evidence was useless if it wasn't seen. I didn't just want Pablo and Clara to admit it. I wanted the world around us, the same friends, the same family who thought we were inseparable, to see them for what they truly were. That's when the idea of the trap came to me. It started small. I told Pablo that I was planning a casual gathering at my apartment the following weekend, just our closest circle, nothing big, just drinks and laughs. He smiled, clapped my shoulder, and said, "Of course, hermano, count me in." And when Clara asked what the occasion was, I said it was nothing, just friends hanging out. She kissed me lightly and agreed to come. They had no idea they were walking into their own execution. In the days leading up to it, I prepared everything. I printed screenshots of the messages. I highlighted the lies, times, dates, words. I even had the club photo enlarged and placed in a folder. It felt like preparing for trial, and I was both prosecutor and executioner. But that wasn't enough. I needed more impact. Something undeniable, something so shocking they couldn't wriggle out of it. So I borrowed a small Bluetooth speaker from a friend. Why? Because I had an idea. What if their own words exposed them? See, Clara wasn't careful. She often left her phone on my couch, unlocked, when she went to the bathroom or grabbed water. And one evening, I scrolled through her recent voice notes to friends. And there it was. Her laughing, whispering, "I can't believe Diego still doesn't suspect anything. Pablo is just so much better at keeping me satisfied." Hearing it nearly broke me. But instead of crying, I saved it. That clip would become my most powerful weapon. The night of the gathering arrived. My living room buzzed with laughter, clinking glasses, and music. Pablo was telling one of his over-the-top stories. Clara sat close to him, too close, but acted casual, as though nothing was wrong. My hand shook, but not from fear, from anticipation, because tonight, masks would fall. And everyone in that room was about to see who Pablo and Clara really were. The air that night was heavy with laughter, cheap wine, and the smell of grilled tapas. My apartment was full of mutual friends, colleagues, even a few neighbors. The perfect audience. Pablo sat across the room, his arm casually brushing against Clara's as he told one of his larger-than-life stories. They laughed a little too much at each other's jokes, shared glances they thought no one noticed. But I noticed. I had been noticing for months. And tonight, they were going to regret every smirk, every secret. I raised my glass. "Hey, everyone, can I have your attention for a moment?" The chatter softened, heads turned. Pablo leaned back, grinning. "Here we go. Diego's about to give one of his dramatic speeches." I forced a smile. "Actually, yeah, it is a bit dramatic, but I've got something I want to share with all of you." I pulled out the folder. My heart was pounding so loud it drowned out the music. I walked to the coffee table and spread out the screenshots like cards in a poker game. "Do these messages look familiar to anyone?" I asked. People leaned in. Murmurs began. Someone gasped. The highlighted texts were clear. Clara and Pablo planning secret meetups, mocking me behind my back. Pablo's face drained of color. Clara shifted in her seat, her smile faltering. But I wasn't done. Not even close. I tapped my phone, and the Bluetooth speaker connected with a soft chime. "Here's something you should all hear," I said. And then her voice filled the room. Clara's voice. Laughing, whispering. "I can't believe Diego still doesn't suspect anything. Pablo's just so much better at keeping me satisfied." The room froze. The words hung in the air like poison. Pablo shot up from his chair. "That's taken out of context," he shouted, his voice cracking. "Context?" I said coldly. "What context makes this acceptable?" The silence that followed was deafening. Then came the whispers, friends shaking their heads, muttering things like, "Unbelievable," and "How could they?" Clara's eyes brimmed with tears. "Diego, please, this isn't fair." I laughed bitterly. "Fair? You've been sneaking around with the person I trusted most in the world. You thought I'd stay quiet? No, Clara. Tonight, everyone gets to see you both for who you are." The crowd turned against them almost instantly. One of our mutual friends stood up. "Pablo, you've been lying to us all for years. You don't deserve our trust." Another shook their head at Clara. "How could you do this to him? After everything he did for you?" It was brutal, public, exactly what I had planned. Pablo grabbed his jacket and stormed out, muttering curses under his breath. Clara followed, sobbing, but no one went after them. For the first time in months, I felt lighter. Not healed, not yet, but vindicated. And as the door slammed shut, I turned back to my friends, the ones who remained, and simply said, "Now you know the truth." The trap had worked. The betrayal had been exposed. And justice, at least in my eyes, was finally served. The night after the exposure, my phone buzzed nonstop. Messages, missed calls, group chat notifications. It was chaos. Half of our social circle couldn't believe what they'd witnessed, while the other half wanted more details, as if betrayal was some kind of sick entertainment. I ignored most of it. I didn't need their pity. What I wanted was peace. But peace was not what Pablo or Clara got. 2 days later, I was at a cafe near Plaza de Catalunya when I overheard a conversation at the next table. A group of friends, people we both knew, were talking. Pablo's gym kicked him out of the group chat, one whispered. And Clara, her coworkers found the screenshots online. Someone must have leaked them. I sipped my cortado, pretending not to hear, but inside, I felt that grim satisfaction. Their perfect little worlds were crumbling. Of course, they tried damage control. Clara posted a long, tear-filled Instagram story about how people shouldn't judge relationships they don't understand. The comments section was brutal. No one bought it. Pablo, meanwhile, went silent. No gym updates, no stories, no pictures of him flexing in front of a mirror. Just gone. I should have felt sorry, but instead, all I felt was relief. Finally, people saw them the way I'd been forced to see them. Still, revenge has a strange aftertaste. Some friends started treating me differently. They were kind, yes, but cautious, like I might expose their secrets next. I caught whispers about how Diego went too far. It made me question myself. Had I? Was airing their betrayal in public too much? Should I have kept it private, handled it one-on-one? But every time I asked myself that, I remembered the texts, the audio, the humiliation I endured in silence while they laughed behind my back. No, this wasn't cruelty. This was justice. The last time I saw Pablo and Clara together was a week later. They were arguing on the street near the beach, their voices sharp and bitter. No love, no laughter, just blame. Clara spotted me across the road. For a second, I thought she'd walk over. Instead, she turned away, her face red with shame. That was the closure I didn't expect. Not an apology, not forgiveness, but watching them destroy each other with the very poison they used on me. And so, I walked away. The betrayal nearly broke me, but the revenge, calculated, undeniable, gave me my life back. And if I learned one thing, it's this. The people who pretend to love you while secretly stabbing you in the back always end up choking on their own lies. You just have to make sure the truth comes out first.
Thank you for being here. If you enjoyed this, go watch the one of the left and don't forget to hit like and subscribe to the channel for more tales of triumph over injustice and a saga of ultimate revenge.